O Polichinello. Villa-Lobos was South American. In 1918, he wrote this suite of pieces depicting a collection of dolls owned by a baby's dolls. O Polichinello is the puppet, the punch doll, the traditional amusing, crazy, clownish character. One of the first things to consider when learning this piece is keeping the body relaxed, especially the shoulders. If you feel your shoulders rising, do some exercises to keep these shoulders low and relaxed. We've got both hands playing fast, alternating. The left hand is playing on black notes and the right hand on the white notes until the final page when it changes. Practice definitely with no pedal initially, because you want the clarity, you want to hear what you're doing. It starts off, let me just talk about the fingering at the beginning. You could decide to do in the right hand fingers 1, 2, 4, and the left hand 1, 2, 4. Or you might choose to leave out the thumbs and have something like right hand 2, 3, 5, and left hand 2, 3, 5. You must decide what sort of fingering you want to apply through this piece. We've got a lot of accents, little V's on their sides, and lots of sforzandos. And you need to be very aware of where the melody, the tune is. I would recommend initially playing just the accented notes, starting off in the right hand, and because it's a chord, we want to voice it, we want the top notes singing. So it's just that much. And in fact, there are sforzandos. So we need that much. Then in the left hand, we have this rather unusual from bar 7. So lift the fingers well, stroke well, and then the other hand is much softer, but we need these one. Those ones are the accented notes. Then at bar 12, we have the right hand comes down, starting with sforzando. Then the left hand has the melody. Right hand. Then the left hand. And then it changes a little bit. So all the way through, we've got one hand, all the other has the melody. So practice, I call that mosaic practice, where you play the melody throughout, whichever hand it happens to be. And then you can practice just the accompaniment, keeping the fingers much closer to the keys, as softly as you can. The overall dynamic of this piece is not piano. Until the very end, we've got bigger sounds there. But overall it's piano with some sforzandos, some accents, but overall it needs to be soft. So practice the other hand each time as softly as possible. Practice the melody alone, then put little bits hands together. Perhaps bar 7. Practice 2 strong notes and the others all really soft. Practice bar 12, where we've got the chords, the strong notes in the right hand. Practice on the left hand. So gradually put that together. And then a very tricky bit is bar 17. So the left hand has the melody. Right hand is just much softer. Practice at different rhythms. opposite. Just practice individual bars or 2 bars, a few bars at a time, listening for your sounds. Practice them slowly. Then at the 3rd page from bar 29, we have this lovely Brazilian folk song, Le chant bien distinct, so singing out the melody distinctly. Play first the melody on its own, using the fingers you will use, which is basically finger 5, or finger 5 changing to finger 4, because we've got the chords underneath. So sing out the melody, change the fingers, that's the sound you want. Then play the right hand, singing out the melody. Adding the chords much more softly, just going squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. I like to stroke, keep the fingers close to the keys for the soft sound. You can practice just the accompaniment in the right hand on its own. Just keeping it soft and quiet. You practice the left hand on its own, and you put it all hands together. Bar 50, we have this delightfully awkward right hand. We've got 2 notes on the right in the first, and then 2 notes. You could practice them with different rhythms. You could practice in triplets, sextuplets, no, quintuplets. You could practice just the first note, only the lower note of the first chord, and then 2 notes. Or only the first note of the second chord. Sorry, the top note of the first chord. Or both notes going to just the top note. Or both notes going to 1. So drop out one note each time. Practice staccato. You could practice it up an octave because it's awkward when it's across the body. Play it up 2 octaves, up 3 octaves. Against that, we have the left hand playing fortissimo now. This is to be played en dehors, standing out. We've got, first of all, just single notes. Then one of my copies suggests playing at octaves for the next phrase. And again, one of my copies doesn't have that last chord, but you could in bar 57 add that extra chord. So from bar 55, I like that extra chord in. And of course, very, very strong, punchy fingers moving there. Then bar 60, fortissimo. Really, really use your whole body to really go for it. Then the next bar, 64, you could have an extra note. I've got a D natural written in one of my copies, which I rather like. And then here, if you do the glissando, you can either do it going up with your second finger, and play the last note with a finger 3, or you can go up with a thumb, play the last note with your finger 2. Or one of my copies doesn't have the gliss at all. It's just two open octaves at the end. Pedalling, I think, a light flutter pedal all the way through. Of course it needs pedal. It can't be played without the pedal, but it doesn't need so much pedal that everything is obliterated. So a little bit of light flutter pedaling, I think, will do this job nicely. What a fun piece to study.